Hey guys, welcome back. So this is gonna be part 2 of my birth story. And so if you missed part 1, I'll have it linked up here. So you wanna watch it first. And that was all, can you guys hear him already? He's down here. I'm holding him. We're gonna see if we can get through this video. So if you missed part 1, that was all of my vlog footage from in the hospital when I was in labor. So of course, after baby was born, things got busy and I don't have any clips after that. I have pictures and I'll be inserting them through this video. And I do have one clip of Ridgely meeting his baby brother for the first time. But this video is gonna be just me telling you guys how my delivery went and how things have been going since. So, watch part one if you haven't seen that. So, my last clip, I told you guys I was at 10 centimeters and they were saying I was ready to push, but I had to wait for the doctor to come in because she was with another patient. So, I also have notes on my phone over here, so if you see me like looking down or whatever, it's because I'm typing myself out a bunch of notes because I'm sure there's stuff I'm gonna forget, and if I do and you have a question about something, leave it in the comments below and I'll get back to you. But the doctor come in very shortly after I did that clip and they said, okay, they got me all positioned up to push and everything, and I ended up pushing for 15 minutes. So with Ridgely, I pushed for about 40 minutes before he was born. Okay, I already had to stop because he was getting fussy, and so he's actually nursing right now, so I gotta make sure I stay below the radar. Anyways, so I pushed for about 15 minutes, like, you know, about half the time that I pushed with Ridgely, and just very much TMI information here. I don't know that I did this with Ridgely, but this time I know that this happened. Okay, so when you're pushing a baby out, you're pushing, they tell you specifically to push into your bottom like you're having a bowel movement. And I actually did have a bowel movement while I was pushing, which is not uncommon. Like, I've been seeing all the, you know, I saw all these videos while I was pregnant saying, you know, if that happens, if you go number 2 while you're in, like, while you're pushing your baby out, the nurses will just wipe it away and act like nothing happened. But I know that I did, and that was very awkward. And there was also like 20 people in the room. There were so many nurses in the room. I mean, at that point, you've been exposed to so many people. You just kind of have to let it go. But it's just very awkward when you've got your legs up in these stirrup things, not stirrups, but like you've got your legs up in this pushing position, and there's just all these different faces in the room that you don't know, and they're seeing everything you've got, and it's just very awkward. But I always just try to, like last time with Ridgely and then this time, I've just tried to remind myself, these are doctors, these are nurses, this is the line of work they decided to get into, so they're just preparing themselves to see all kinds of stuff. But anyways, so 15 minutes of pushing, he came out. It really wasn't that bad. I felt I could, you know, I had the epidural, but I definitely felt his head come through and just slip on out. And so at 9:33 a.m. on November 16th, I'm gonna reveal his name. Are you guys ready for his name? I kept it a secret, just like I did with Ridgely's. And I'll show you his face when he gets done eating here. His name is Fletcher Bow. So Fletcher Bow Johnson was born at 9:33 a.m. on November 16th. And he weighed 8 pounds, 3 ounces, was 20 3/4 inch long. So like one of the first things that came up after he was born was, he was 8 pounds, 3 ounces. And my gestation I was at 39 weeks and 5 days. So I was just 2 days away from my due date. So they considered 8'3" to be a large baby for that gestation. And they wanted to check his blood sugar because apparently that's like a big baby. I didn't really think 8.3 was that big, but apparently it is. So they checked his blood sugar and it was actually 2 points lower than they wanted it to be. And so that sent us into a little tailspin of, for like, they had to do 4 different blood pricks on his little heel, on his foot, over the next, like, you know, so many hours and or whatever, over the next day. They had to prick his foot all these different times to check his blood sugar. And he ended up passing all of the tests, so it was fine. But it just seemed funny to me that I was like, wow, they considered 8.3 to be like a big baby and they had to check him for diabetes? That was just something I wasn't expecting. But I'm glad that he was fine. So they did that. Let's see. I didn't have any tears. That was awesome. With Ridgely, I had a 1st-degree tear. It was just like a very minimal tear, and they did have to put a stitch or 2. I really don't know how many stitches. They had to stitch me up a little bit with him. But with Fletcher, I had no tears, so that was awesome. They didn't have to do nothing. So yeah, he was born. The tears got flowing, just like, I mean, it's just like a wild, like, something you just only know the feeling of if you've ever birthed a baby or, you know, had a baby. When that baby comes out and they put that baby on your chest, it's just like, just emotions and hormones, just woo! It was just amazing. And so we stayed in that room for a couple hours, and then they moved us to our, like, postpartum room. He ended up passing his hearing test on the first try. That was awesome. I think with Ridgely, they had to test him a couple different times because he had fluid in his ear or something. But he passed his hearing test. And I'm gonna put this picture in here. Fletcher and Ridgely looked like twins. Like, if you look at their newborn pictures in the hospital, they look like twins. At this point, he's like just over 2 weeks old. And Fletcher's getting his own little look. He still looks very much like his brother, but he does have a little bit longer hair, and he's got a little bit darker hair than Ridgely. So we're not sure if he's gonna be blonde-headed like Ridgely, or if he's gonna have some, like, you know, just dark, you know, it's like brown hair. So that will be, we'll just have to see what happens there. But let's see here. Oh, I think he's finished eating, so let me get myself put away. Breastfeeding has been going decently. That's one of the main issues, or I guess I would say, that we've had so far, is they did determine at his, when we went to his first pediatrician appointment, he does have a tongue tie. Okay, let me pull him into frame here. They said he does have a moderate tongue tie. So we're actually going next week to get that clipped, to get it fixed, and hopefully it'll help him latch better. But he has already surpassed his birth weight. So like I said, he's just over 2 weeks right now, and he is 8 pounds 6 ounces as of a couple days ago. So he's getting enough milk, he's getting what he needs, he's not losing weight, so they know that the tongue tie isn't like a big issue. He's getting what he needs, but I feel like getting his little tongue clipped will definitely, I hope that it'll help him latch better, because sometimes when he's eating, you can hear his tongue click sometimes, and that's just a thing that happens with tongue ties. But his little tongue, like when he cries, you can see it, and he can't stick his tongue out of his mouth. Like his tongue, his tongue just stays in his mouth. I don't know how to explain it, but here him is, Mr. Fletcher Bow. Look at him, he's so little. Oh my goodness. Oh my. He's a little sweetie. So he was born at 9:30 in the morning, and then we were at the hospital all day that day, and then most of the following day we got to go. So we were in the hospital less than 48 hours, less than 2 days before we got discharged and got to come home. So that was nice. I would say overall I got more rest in the hospital this time versus when I had Ridgely. I don't know if that's just because This was our second go around with it, and I felt a little more experienced, and I did not get a lot of rest, but like I feel like I got maybe an hour or two more than I did with when we were in the hospital originally. But it was very similar to my experience with being in the hospital with Ridgely. It was so annoying with like the constant people coming in. Gotta check your blood pressure. I gotta check your vitals. Oh, here's your ibuprofen. Here's your stool softener. People just coming in for random stuff like, oh, birth certificate things, lactation consultant people coming in. I probably should have took them up on this offer. Some lady came in and said, we do postpartum massages, like for like, you know, new moms or whatever. And they said, well, you know, massage your legs and, you know, give you a massage. And it was like complimentary or whatever. I don't think I was gonna have to pay for it, but I've never had a massage in my life, and so I was like, that's okay, no thanks. But my husband Jared was like, you probably should have done that. He's like, that probably would have been nice. But anyways, there was just constant people coming in doing different things and checking on him, taking him for like his hearing test. And like I remember they came in at like 9:30 or 10 at night, and they're like, okay, we're gonna take him for his hearing test now. And I'm like, okay. It's like just constant people coming in. But anyways, oh, I guess I'll go ahead and insert the video of Ridgely meeting him for the first time.
You're very violent.
He's over here.
I see him.
He's right there. Look at him.
Come here. Come here. It's right here. It's right here.
Hey, baby.
Hey, baby brother.
Is he a white baby?
He's
Yeah,
really.
he's a real baby.
He looks like a doll, doesn't he? He looks just like you.
Can I touch him? Can I touch him?
Yeah, you
Here,
can
it'd
touch
be
him.
real easy, and you can touch his head. See him moving? Easy.
I'm not waking up.
Yeah, he's sleepy.
So overall, Ridgely has just really been adjusting and struggling with this new Big Brother thing. He has been acting out a lot, and you can tell he's wanting attention, and so he's been being very naughty. Just to be honest, like he's been showing out a lot, and Mommy and Daddy have had to have many talks with him about being patient, because now when he's like, I want blah blah blah, I want a snack, or I want milk, or I want you to play with me, it's like, okay, well, I gotta do this right now for brother, I'm feeding brother, or I'm changing his diaper, or brother is sleeping, we've got to do this or that. Like, it's hard. He's really adjusting to it, so I think it's maybe getting a little better, but it's definitely a transition for all of us, I guess, having a new person in our family. I'm able to film this video quietly with a quiet background today because Jared and Ridgely are actually gone right now, so I thought this would be a good time to make this video. But because it has been very hectic. I have been super thankful because my husband has had more paternity leave this time around from his work. So with Ridgely, he only got 5 days off. This time around, he got 10 days off, but my husband works a really odd schedule, and so just the way that it works out with his 10 days of paternity leave and then with his days that he already has off, he's getting to be home for like a total of 3 weeks. So it has been awesome. He's still home with us for like another week or so, and I'm super thankful for that because it's just been really nice to have an extra set of hands, somebody to keep, you know, Ridgely occupied at times whenever I can't. But I mean, not gonna lie, I am kind of dreading and just, you know, just kind of anxious about whenever he goes back to work, how I'm gonna deal with, you know, having two, not, you know, having Ridgely and Fletcher, and, you know, not having the extra set of hands during the day. It could get interesting, but we're just gonna roll with it. We've been taking this one day at a time and just seeing how it goes. But so the first like several days were, every night was different as far as like, you know, his sleeping and eating schedule, and it was just kind of crazy. But I would say the last week he's been a little more consistent, like a little more predictable, I would say, which I know not to expect anything because he's only 2 weeks old. Things are going to change. His little schedule's going to change, and his times that he's awake are going to change. He's already having more like wake windows than he did, but so when he wakes up now, it's like he's awake for maybe like an hour before it's just too much and he has to conk back out. But the last week or so has been more consistent with like bedtime. He will go to, you know, he'll have his last feed and last diaper change, and when he goes to sleep, we go to bed, and it's usually like 3 hours. He'll wake up about 3 hours later, and I get him up, I feed him, change his diaper if, you know, if needed, and he typically goes right back to sleep. So it's usually like a 30-minute chunk of time about, and we go back to bed. And he will sleep another like 3 hours, and then we get up again. So typically right now we're waking up about 2 times a night. So I'm getting sleep, but it's just in like little chunks of time. But I'm not gonna complain. I know it could be a lot worse, and I know it could get worse. But right now he's actually he's being a really good baby. I feel like he deals with the noise really well. With like Ridgely's just a little firecracker, so he's always running around and loud and stuff, and I feel like he's doing good with all the noise. So I think that maybe that's just like a second child thing. Maybe they learn to sleep through the noise better, because I feel like Ridgely woke up a lot more, but it's hard for me to remember, you know, the early days. So as far as myself and postpartum, like I said, I'm just over 2 weeks out from having him. And I do still have a little bit of bleeding going on. It's definitely tapering off at this point, and it's just kind of in the very annoying stages. But my bleeding is almost finished up, I hope. And I've got makeup on right now, obviously, but my face has been freaking out. My skin's gotten like super dry, but it's also getting colder outside too, so that might be part of it too. But my skin's been really breaking out. I've been having like lots of dry patches and little acne bumps all over, where when I was pregnant my skin was like decent. So my skin's been freaking out. I did have a couple like emotional moments the first like couple days that we were home, just different things that happened, and I would have me a little cry, just out of frustration or you know, about something. But you know, your hormones are just like wild those first few days, and I mean, I guess sometime after. But right now I feel like I'm doing good. I don't feel sad, like, you know, the baby blues or anything like that. Now, like I said, we're gonna see how my hormones and things do and how I do emotionally once my husband goes back to work, because I do remember when he went back to work with Ridgely that I had some sad moments, but I never, like, you know, thought that I had like the postpartum depression or anything like that. And hopefully, you know, everything will be good this time around too, because having a baby and all the, yeah, like I said, the hormones and things that goes with that, it can send your mental state, woo. But I feel like I'm doing good, so we will see how that goes, how that continues to go. But I feel like it helps that he's sleeping well, and I'm getting, you know, I'm getting some adequate rest. So Okay, so I feel like there's probably like so many things that I missed in my story. So like I said, if you have any questions, leave them below. But this was my delivery story for Mr. Fletcher Bow. And, oh, give us a good stretch. Big old stretches. Oh my. But, we just love him so much. And we're so glad that he's finally here. And, oh my goodness, look at the little fish. So, wish us luck that the tongue tie release goes well here this next week, and hope that it can help him. And guys, just overall, if you've made it this far in the video, just know that my channel, okay, I'm still here, but man, I don't know how much time I'm gonna have to be making videos. So I'm gonna try, you know, here and there. I'm not gonna quit, but just know that I'm busy, and there's just not as much time to do these videos. So I'm still here, but just don't expect like weekly videos or anything like that. So anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I hope you guys love this little guy. He's so sweet. He's so sweet. And I'll see you guys in my next video, whenever that may be. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye.